Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This would be part 9, I believe, of the swing state analysis. Yes, part 9. We have Michigan today, or at least this video. So, at the aggregate at the moment is a Trump plus 0.3. Biden won the previous time around by about 2.8 percentage points, about roughly 150,000 votes. So, first things first, Michigan ballot access. It is one of the later ones, I believe. Let me check the spreadsheet real quick because I have it there. Michigan. Oh, it's actually one of the earlier ones. July 18th, and you need 12,000 signatures in order to get on the ballot as an independent. But if you have an established political party, it's a lot easier to get there. In the case of 2020, the ballot looked as follows. Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green, Constitution, Natural Law. And everything else is basically a write-in. That is permitted, but doesn't really do much in the state. So, what it means for Michigan, essentially, is that you cannot get on the ballot unless you have a political party that nominated you. So, next time around, 2024, we have Biden again, we have Trump again. Chase Oliver is nominated. We have Jill Stein is nominated. Robert Kennedy is on the Natural Law Party. He's their nominee, and Constitution has nominated their own candidate. So the only one that's not present is Cornel West. You can write in for him, I suppose, and I believe he has created his own party to try and get on a ballot, but that remains to be seen. We'll wait until August, then we have the ballots, we know what the ballot will look like. There you go. So, state of Michigan. Right here, let's start. The entire turnout for the state increased by 15.4%, so we're just going to round it up to 16 percentage points, which means Trump needs to find 180,000 votes to win. So how do you do that? Well, for starters, let's do the obvious one, and this is the obvious urban-rural check. So we take every single county that has less than 50,000 votes. Multi-select, select everything, and here we go. So Michigan had 5.5 million votes cast in the 2020 election. Wayne County is 870,000. Oakland is 770,000. Then you have Macomb, you have Kent, you have Genesee, and you have Washita, which have more than 200,000 each. So the Detroit area is essentially half of the vote in the state of Michigan. And I'll show you that really quickly. So we have the Detroit metropolitan area. That is Wayne. That is Oakland, Macomb, St. Clair, Lapeer, and Livingston. And there you go. Now it's Republican plus 5. But we also have 1.8 million votes. In this particular regard, everything else excluded. So let's do this, right? All the counties that have more than 50,000 votes. Let's start with that. Wayne is the first. Now we have Oakland, we have Macomb, we have Kent, which is here. We have Genesee, which should be around here. We have Washita, which is right here. Ottawa, which should be here in this particular region as well. Or am I completely misremembering where it is? Seems I'm completely misremembering. Ottawa County, that is Grand Haven, Ottawa Nation, I don't know. Maybe Northern. As you know, I'm bad at geography. But I'm at least trying to improve. Ottawa, right there, next to Kent. Ingham, which is a part of the Kent, or the Lansing metropolitan area, so the capital. Kalamazoo, which should be around here as well. Kalamazoo right there. Then we have Livingston, which is adjacent to that, I suppose. No, it's there in the Chicago area, or in the Detroit area. Then we have Saginaw, which is right here. We have Muskegon, which is right here. We have St. Clair. We have Monroe. We have Berrien. There. We have Jackson. Where did Jackson lay again? Right there. Allegan, that's right there. We have Calhoun, which should be right here. Eaton is another one. Grand Traverse, that's the only one up north, I believe. We have Bay, which is right here. And then the last two are Lenawee and Lapeer. So Lapeer is right here. Lenawee is right there. Everything else is less than 50,000 votes. So this is a Trump plus 25 region for all of these counties together. So how about we make it Trump plus 40? And nothing else shifted and you already win. So basically what a Republican needs to do in order to win the state of Michigan is to get the rural vote out. So let's do this again. 16 percentage points extra turnout. Oh, reset the state. Select everything. Fucking bullshit. This thing doesn't really always work, but that's the position, right? So let's take every single rural county. So the same definition. But minus the Democrat strongholds. Grand Traverse is not a part of this equation. Neither is Bay. Montcalm is not a part of this. Iona I can have. Clinton I can have. This one I can. Huron. Selenac. Tuscola is a part of it. Lapeer is not. Hillsdale is Branch. St. Joseph. Cass. Van Buren. Calhoun was a part of it. Jackson was. Eaton is. Berry is not. Allegan. So here you go. These are all the counties with less than 50,000 votes. But they voted Republican. So here you go. These are considered rural counties that voted for Trump. How about we make this, instead of a Trump plus 27 area, how about we make it a Trump plus 50? There you go. You win. The only thing you need to do, rural counties, focus on it, get the turnout out, get people to vote. That's the only thing Republicans need to do. Here's the funny part. Let's take those same urban or the rural areas that are part of the Democrats, which are only these two, so Marquette and Leelanau, and let's say Democrats have the same turnout strategy in their particular region, and it becomes Biden plus 20 in those two counties. Well, you still win. So let's say, let's go back towards it and trending. So, Ottawa and Kent, here, they trended to the left. As did Macomb, as did Livingston, as did Eaton, as did Clinton. And Berrien technically did too. Midland is not a part of the equation, I believe, because I already had that. So this is Trump plus 7. Let's make it a Trump plus 5 region for these counties. You're still almost there. Democrats still win, or Republican still wins. However, it's very, very close. So in order for a Republican to win in Michigan, it's actually relatively simple. You need to focus on the rural turnout. This is one of the states where focusing on rural turnout actually works for Republicans. Wisconsin is another one. Minnesota is not a state where you need to focus on the rural parts of the state. You need to focus on the Minneapolis, St. Paul region. So you need to focus on Hennepin. You need to focus on Ramsey. That's where you've got to stop the bleeding in order to win Minnesota. Pennsylvania is another state that I will show in a later episode that is relatively important in order to get there. So, finally, we're doing the same exercise. However, I'm going to do this per region. So, as you can see, in order for the Republicans to cancel out Wayne and Oakland, you need Macomb, you need Monroe, St. Clair, Livingston, this particular region. Funny part about it is you can know who wins the election in Michigan. If you take Oakland, you put Macomb ahead of it, and you put Monroe. If a Democrat wins this by more than 50,000 votes, the Democrat wins the election. However, if this becomes an even area, Democrats are going to struggle. So here you got to overcome a 100,000 vote deficit. So, Macomb, you, let's say that becomes Trump plus 13. So now we take these three. Once again, Biden still wins that. Let's say this particular region, let's move it to the right as well. 5 points to the right. Well, here's the funny part, right? So we take Monroe, we take Macomb, and we take Oakland, and it's relatively even. Now you're going to see that there's going to be a relatively close race. Let's do it one final time. So here's the fun part. The capital region, which is Clinton, Shiawassee, Ingham, and Eaton. Shiawassee, whatever, I'm not good at Native American. So these four counties, that is Biden plus 12. Let's say Trump gets that to a Biden plus 5. Not only did he manage to, I think, let's go with the map real quick. No, you don't flip anything. That's fine. Biden plus 2.5. Let's do the next one. Next important area, which would be Central Michigan. I'm going to make sure that I don't apply the shift twice. Aranac, Bay, Saginaw, Genesee, Gratiot, Midland, Gladwin, Clare, and Isabella. And technically Shiawassee is a part of it, but I'm not going to apply the shift twice. This is a Trump plus 3 area. Let's make it Trump plus 10. Biden still wins by 1.8. There is no county that flips. Genesee is still narrowly Democrat. Next region, Grand Rapids metropolitan area. So that is Ottawa, that is Kent, that is Iona, that's Montcalm. However, I want to make sure that, yeah, I don't apply things twice, because that would be a little unfair. Trump plus 6. Let's make it Trump plus 10. Biden still has 1.4 victory. So another one that's relatively important is Southeast Michigan. So that is Monroe up to Hillsdale, Jackson, Livingston, and Washtenaw. So this is basically the south of Detroit, alongside with Ann Arbor. Basically your college area. Biden plus 2. Let's say, and we do the impossible, and we make it a Trump plus 2 instead. You got a 0.8% victory for Biden. Let's do the Southwest as well. And I want to make sure I don't do anything double. Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph Branch, Calhoun, Kalamazoo, Van Buren, Allegan, and Barry. That is a Trump plus 10. Let's make it a Trump plus 15. 16, whatever. You still have a Biden victory. But we haven't touched Detroit. Another one would be the Upper Peninsula, which is everything up north. And let's say this would go slightly to the right. Let's say this would become a Trump plus 20 territory. You're still not there. So in order for a Republican to win, and we do the reset state, I lied, we're doing it once last time, 180,000 votes. How do you do that? Well, Wayne has a margin of victory of 380,000. So that's where you gotta look. If you were only to focus on the metropolitan area, so that would be Wayne, Livingston, Oakland, Macomb, Lapeer, and St. Clair. Biden has the entire state won by about 180,000 votes. You need to have this margin of victory. So this region needs to go 6 points to the right. You're still not there. However, if the entire metropolitan area regarding Detroit goes 6 points to the right, guess what? Every rural area goes to the right as well. And that's the position where we're in. Michigan is very easy to win, but the Republicans need to focus on rural turnout. That's all you need to do. Maybe you can focus a little bit more regarding Bay, Saginaw, this area. Maybe you can focus on Ingham, trying to get those 2 congressional districts that are vacant now because Dan Kildee is retiring and Elissa Slotkin is running for the Senate. But here's the funny part. The state of Michigan isn't known for ticket splitting. So what does that mean for everything down ballot? If Trump were to win the state, the Republicans would also win the Senate seat. And we can see that with the polling in Michigan being dead even. Elissa Slotkin, I believe, is leading by about 1 point in the aggregate, which is easily to overcome. So that's a lot of information to process, I suppose. There's not much else to say about Michigan. This is definitely going to be the pivot state for the election. Maybe Minnesota. We'll just have to see. Next part, I think I'm going to do Ohio. Maybe I'm going to do Florida. We'll just have to see. See you next time. Cheers.